So the question, all right. Why is it important to not present almost everyone in scripture as white? And I believe we touched on it already, is this, so that we can have better historical culture for people, and plus letting people know that there are other, the Bible is very diverse and it's not just whitewashed. So I'm gonna leave that to you guys. Go ahead. What's your thoughts?
I mean, just to be historically accurate, like it's like that's why it's important. You're supposed to be accurate with what we're doing here. Like, you have Scientology, you have people who want to disprove Jesus through science. Like, why can't we be accurate with the Bible historically? Like, it'll tell you where these people are coming from. Like, it'll tell you they're Greek or Gentiles, or it'll tell you they're Nubian. It'll tell you they're Hebrew, they're Jewish. Like, I just think it's important so we could be accurate. Yes, as representation, but like, this is supposed to be true to the word. We should be definitely interpreting it accurately. That's how I feel. That's me.
Well, yeah, I feel the same way. We need to interpret it accurately. Anybody else have any thoughts? Okay.
I mean, it's important because scripture itself points out the diversity and the ethnicities that are presented. So if we're going to preach scripture correctly, we're just doing it from like the example he gave was Moses' wife. You know what I mean? And being a Cushite woman, and they was believed to be dark skinned, not just of color, dark, a dark woman. It's just preaching the text. It's just like teaching it the way it is, because if you do it that way, you shouldn't really have all these stumbling blocks along the way, because the scripture is showing you that not only is there a diverse group of people entering in, that are already Israelites. There's also people that have been grafted in. There are people that from other that make up the children of Israel. So Israel itself looks like something like America. You know what I mean? If you were to group them all the way they look, skin tones and complexions, because their servants became a part of the family. They're all kind of. They had Egyptians in there that became a part of Israelite family, that had children with other Israelites, and then 3 generations later, you didn't know that great grandfather was an Egyptian. They were just Israelites. The same thing. That's the beauty of the scripture. You look at Revelation 7 and 9. Every tribe, every tongue. That's the beauty of God's redemptive plan, using Israel to get that, and ultimately Christ coming through Israel for that. So it's important not to present everybody as white, because that's not accurate. That's not what scripture is even talking about. And then not even the chosen people are white. The Israelites aren't even just white. So why would everybody, be presented that way in the first place, when we live in a nation that's supposed to encompass, bring your, what does it say? Bring your poor, bring your, your elderly, whatever. That's what we're supposed to be here in America. And then scripture itself, God and the way he used Israel is all encompassing, and that's what we're supposed to be. That's what this nation is supposed to be. Though we know it's not, but we look at scripture, that's the way it should be.
Yeah. The Jewish people were supposed to be God. Well, they are God's chosen people to present God to the rest of the nation, to help educate them on what God is, who God is, and bring them in. Same thing that we're supposed to be doing as a church right now. So I agree.